he would turn to Allah purely, لِجَنْبِهِ, while he's lying down, أَوْ قَاعِدًا, or while he's sitting, أَوْ قَائِمًا, or while he's standing up, meaning no matter how you are, you will turn to Allah. When hardship comes your way, you always find yourself turning to Allah. Subhanallah. وإذا مس الإنسان الضر دعانا لجنبه أو قاعدا أو قائما فلما كشفنا عنه ضره. And when we rescued him from this, when we lifted this hardship away, مر كأن لم يدعنا إلى ضر مسه. He passes on as if he had never asked us when he was in hardship, as he had never turned to us when he was in hardship. This is how we are as human beings. This is how Allah created us. Like, this is the default, basically. Right? How can you correct this? This is the test. How we correct this? This is us passing the test. So if we remember Allah only in times of hardships, and don't remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during times of ease and times of blessings and times of bounty, then we fall into this category exactly. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for none of us to be amongst those. The next ayah that I want to stop with is the ayah that talks about this issue that I just touched on, which is what happens if benefit comes our way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says 2 pages later, وَإِذَا أَذَقْنَا النَّاسَ رَحْمَةً, and if we give people the taste, just the taste of mercy, just a taste of it, after hardship, what happens? إِذَا لَهُمْ مَكْرٌ فِي آيَاتِنَا. They're plotting, they're going their own way, they're not heeding to Allah's commands. إِذَا لَهُمْ مَكْرٌ فِي آيَاتِنَا بَلِ اللَّهُ أَسْرَعُ مَكْرًا إِنَّ رُسُلَنَا يَكْتُبُونَ مَا تَمْكُرُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us that His angels are writing down everything that we do. Every planning, every plotting that we do to use this mercy that Allah has given us, to use it wisely or to use it in a bad way, there are angels that are writing this down. So subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us in the same context the antidote to the illness that can come to our hearts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning to us within a span of a few pages, is mentioning that if we only turn to Allah during time of hardship, during time of pain, then we have failed the test. And then He notes to us again that if we turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during both times, we're not like that. And then He gives a very good example, an example that is mentioned in the Quran time and time again. This example is what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us, وَهُوَ الَّذِي يُسَيِّرُكُمْ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. He is the one that makes you go down the roads and float on the seas without any hardship or any significant barriers making it hard for you to go your way. حَتَّى إِذَا كُنْتُمْ فِي الْفُلْكِ. Then when you are at sea, وَجَرَيْنَ بِهِمْ بِرِيحٍ طَيِّبَةٍ, and the ships have sailed with them with very good wind. What happens? جَاءَتْهَا رِيحٌ عَاصِفٌ. What comes after that is a very vicious storm. وَجَاءَهُمُ الْمَوْجُ مِنْ كُلِّ مَكَانٍ. And then waves are slamming their ships left and right. وَظَنُّوا أَنَّهُمْ قَدْ أُحِيطَ بِهِمْ. And they think that they are done. دَعَوُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. They turn to Allah with a very pure heart, with very pure faith. لَإِنْ أَنْجَيْتَنَا مِنْ هَذِهِ لَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الشَّاكِرِينَ. Oh Allah, if you just help me out this one time. Does this sound familiar? Reflect on your own life. Wallahi, every one of us has this. Ya Allah, just help me out this one time. Just this one time. because I don't have anywhere else to go to. I've knocked on my relatives' doors, my friends, my family. No one understands me, but you do. Just help me out this one time. وَظَنُّوا أَنَّهُمْ قَدْ أُحِيطَ بِهِمْ دَعَوُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. We turn to Allah with the purest of faith at this point. لَإِنْ أَنْجَيْتَنَا مِنْ هَذِهِ. If you just rescue us from this hardship, لَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الشَّاكِرِينَ. We will be amongst those who are thankful to you. And then when Allah does so, Allah rescues us, Allah helps us out, what happens? We turn away again. إِذَا هُمْ يَبْغُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ. They're transgressing against Allah, disobeying Allah, going left and right their own way instead of heeding to Allah's commands. Ya ayyuhan nas, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declares it to all mankind. O mankind, your transgression is against yourselves, not Allah. It does not harm Allah in any way if you do or do not obey Him. It harms you. ثُمَّ إِلَيْنَا مَرْجِعُكُمْ فَنُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. Then you come back to us, and then we will tell you what you've been doing. This is a very grave warning, brothers and sisters. Allah is telling us very clearly, He knows. He knows what you've been doing. You turn to Allah this 1, 3, 4, 10 times during times of hardships. He blessed you. He sent His mercy again your way. And then what happened? You used this same mercy that you asked for, and instead of giving the thankfulness that is owed, you use it in not a very honest way, not a very good way, sometimes even in disobeying Allah Himself, after He has given it directly to you. This is the issue. This is the matter that the whole surah talks about. This is the matter that is very crucial in the sense that it's how we deal with ourselves and how we deal with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So before I turn the page on to the next ayah, I just want to take a step back and ask every single one of us to reflect today about this. How many times have we used what Allah has given us after we've asked Him to help us out in our hardships? How many times have we used this mercy that Allah sent our way, transgressing against Him, using it in disobeying Allah, or not being thankful enough to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How many times were we thankful, truly thankful, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us that blessing or that mercy? How many times were we truly thankful after we have gone through the hardship? Do we even remember it anymore? Insha'Allah, when we remember and say Alhamdulillah and use those blessings in a way that pleases Allah, insha'Allah we will be amongst those who are truly thankful. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us always be truly thankful to Him and always use His blessings in a way that pleases Him. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله وإياكم ادعوا الله وأنتم موقنون. الحمد لله وكفى وصلاة وسلاما على عباده الذين اصطفى. I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to pray to Him. I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to read Quran and to listen to Quran. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send His peace and blessings on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who taught us the Quran. Continuing on the line of how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one that can bring forth benefit and protect us from harm. And while I'm going towards this idea, I just want to reflect on our own lives. And especially in this season, the young ones are either applying to colleges or planning their lives outside college after graduation. And these are very anxious times for us as parents or as young adults going into life. And we always think, oh, this is a very hard decision. This is a hardship, right? This is a painful topic to talk about. I don't exactly know what I'm going to be doing in life. Or I don't know how to choose which school to apply to. Or I really want this one school. So I turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, help me get into this school. Or I really want this job with this company. Ya Allah, help me with this job with this company. Or I'm a parent, I'm a head of a household. I want more income. Ya Allah, help me out with this more income. And then Allah gives it to me. Or He doesn't. But if He gives it to me, then what do I do with it? That's the question. If you use it in a way that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you are performing the thankfulness of this blessing. If you use it in a way that is not pleasing to Allah, or you just forget that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that gave this to you, then you are forgetful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what I want to get out of this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always there. And when He gives you those bounties, you are in debt. And when you are in debt, you have to pay that debt back. And if you don't, then you don't deserve it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us all bounties whether we ask for them or we don't. Whether we turn to Him or we don't, He's always there. We were talking about one of the names of Allah, Ismullah al-Akram, the other day with a group of friends. Al-Akram means the most generous. The most generous. And I remembered a story about a friend who has passed. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on him. At his grave, another friend was telling a story, bear witnessing that he was a good man. And he said, one day, he calls me up and says, Muhammad, do you have money? Do you have money on you right now? I said, yes, I do. A few hundred maybe. He said, okay, good. I'm going to pass by right now. I'm going to pick you up. And we're going to go give it to charity. I said, okay. So he passes by, picks up the brother, and then goes to another person. And then gives him the money and drives off. And my friend asks him, why did you do that? Like, did he tell you how much he needed? Did we know his situation? What's the story? So he said, nothing, wallahi. I just saw him this morning, looked into his eyes, and I just felt that he needed money. Just a feeling that came to me. So I decided I'm going to help him out without him asking. And at that point, when we were talking about Ismullah al-Akram, that He is the most generous, I thought to myself, if this is the generosity of this one individual, this human being, how is Allah treating us? How many times have we come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, have we walked down the road not even asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something, and then Allah knows it in our hearts and He gives it to us? How many times did you wish for something and then you found that it came to you without you explicitly asking Allah for it? On a personal level, I can count numerous times, and I'm sure that every one of us has this experience of wanting something so much and not explicitly asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for it. So, if this is how Allah is treating us, how can we ever repay this? How can we ever repay this? subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us a very generous ending to all this. The last ayah I want to stop at in Surah Yunus, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لِلَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا الْحُسْنَ وَزِيَادَةً. Those who have done good will get even better treatment. What is better treatment in that sense? All the Mufassirun says, Al-Husna is the Jannah. If you do good in dunya, and dunya is what? If you compare dunya to Jannah, it's uncomparable. There is no scale that can put dunya and Jannah on the same line. But subhanallah, Allah says, if you do good in dunya, if you're thankful enough in dunya, Allah will give you Jannah in the hereafter. Al-Husna, wa ziyada, and even more. What is more? Also the Mufassirun said, this is the pleasure of seeing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How can we repay Him for anything? We can't. We can't. So the only thing that we have is to be shy enough, to have the decency, to have the common sense decency of when someone gives you something, you say thank you. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you all these benefits and protected you from all this harm, be thankful and remember Him in the times of hardships and in the times of ease. So when you're thinking about the things that you're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for, think also about how you will be using them. Because this is what makes your intention at this time, this is what makes it count. Ya Allah, I'm asking you for this, and when you give it to me, I will be thankful in that way. I will use it to please you in that way. This is what makes the biggest difference, inshaAllah. At the end, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us always be thankful, truly thankful to Him, and always remember Him in the times of ease as we remember Him in the times of hardships. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to always guide us to the straight path. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the parents that are struggling with their children to have the wisdom, the basira on how to deal with them. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to those rebellious children to come back with ease and wisdom to their parents. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help the youth forge their path in life in a way that pleases Him. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us all be righteous and always be pious. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help the brothers and sisters that are Muslim, that are being oppressed in the west and the east and the north and the south. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to plan the best for His ummah. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to always use us for what is necessarily good. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us and our loved one from any harm. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وأقيم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استقيم. Straighten your lines, close your gaps. Allahu Akbar. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. وإذا أذقنا الناس رحمة من بعد ضراء مستهم إذا لهم مكر في آياتنا قل الله أسرع مكرا إن رسلنا يكتبون ما تمكرون وهو الذي يسيركم في البر والبحر حتى إذا كنتم في الفلك وجرين بهم بريح طيبة وفرحوا بها جاءتها ريح عاصف وجاءهم الموج من كل مكان وظنوا أنهم قد أحيط بهم دعوا الله مخلصين له الدين لئن أنجيتنا من هذه لنكونن من الشاكرين. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين فلما أنجاهم إذا هم يبغون في الأرض بغير الحق يا أيها الناس إنما بغيكم على أنفسكم متاع الحياة الدنيا ثم إلينا مرجعكم فننبئكم بما كنتم تعملون إنما مثل الحياة الدنيا كماء أنزلناه من السماء فاختلط به نبات الأرض مما يأكل الناس والأنعام حتى إذا أخذت الأرض زخرفها وزينت وظن أهلها أنهم قادرون عليها أتاها أمرنا ليلا أو نهارا فجعلناها حصيدا كأن لم تغن بالأمس كذلك نفصل الآيات لقوم يتفكرون. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We like to thank our brother عمرو مصطفى على خطبته اليوم. جزاه الله كل خير. Don't forget your masjid from your donation. And another thing, in your behalf, we would like to thank our brother who served the board of trustees for the last 4 years. And ونخص بالذكر دكتور محمود عباسي، دكتور أحمد جاهين، دكتور عدنان عطشان، والأستاذ محمد فؤاد، والأخ رضا الشهاوي. جزاهم الله كل خير. Thank you very much. There's a parking car had been there for a couple of days, and white Toyota, and the license plate it's LBF 3399. If somebody knows who owned this car, please ask him to remove it before the cops will tow it away. Thank you.